Bitcoin hoodie guy coming back with another Kaspa video. You can see we're over 17 cents. Before we get into it, could you please Mike Tyson the like and subscribe button? So 17 cents, that's nice. We're up basically 1.5%, kind of right there with the overall market. Bitcoin, kind of the overall market is going up. I guess the CPI data might have been good. Market's pretty fickle, but the supply and demand, if the demand for Kaspa goes up, then it'll climb up the charts on coin market cap. You can see that we're starting to get some wallets back, almost back up to 395,000 wallets. The big boys, I guess, the number 9 wallet took a day off of getting some Kaspa, but overall it's been loading up a lot lately. But with the emission schedules, eventually things like KRC20 or whatever, the 721, when the NFTs come out, what's there like? There's only about 16% left on Kaspa. I guess a year from now, there'll only be 8%. So it's got low inflation. Projects on CoinMarketCap aren't necessarily ranked by how good the technology is. Obviously, Pepe, you can't even compare Kaspa and Pepe, and there they are, just $100 million separates them, even less right now, $80 million on the market cap. So it just doesn't make sense sometimes how the market, the demand for a certain project. But I think Kaspa is set. It's going to have some good narratives, I believe. You can see Shy posted about his meeting this morning with Casplex. It's a long post. You can go on X if you want and read it. But just a couple brief things is that they had some back and forth, some changes to the KRC protocol proposed by Shy and some other people that could streamline the process. So would deal with some of those issues that they saw in the open beta. To improve trust model, allow new indexers to sync all the KRC20 network from arbitrary peers without relying on single truth. An application of the new partially signed Kaspa transactions, which will let these, the KRC20s exist. Introduce the Rusty Kaspa implement of atomic swaps, so you won't have to rely on third parties for KRC20 dexes. And the conditions for a healthy launch on the next time, and it should not be rushed. So we don't know exactly when. We know that Casplex and other people, once Casplex knows what day, they'll be putting it out. And maybe there's time they won't really put the date out. Maybe they're trying for later this month, August, September, who knows exactly. At some point they shared this post on X. Since its smooth operation relies on things that were outside of Casplex's hand, in particular, the Rusty Kaspa team would meet to see what most wallets implemented RBF. So they're working on it. Lots of big brains. You can see that yesterday Michael Sutton posted this, and Discord was thinking of a fast brain dump on how I observed the ZK zero knowledge smart contract discussion in the public meeting yesterday. So some big brains. Some of this is technically over my pay grade. ZK capabilities is black box and plugging with DAG ordering. So it's a large post. There's lots of big brains working on this. So you just got to let that stuff unfold. In the overall crypto market, you have here the city of Santa Monica open some Bitcoin office, whatever. They have that wheel in Santa Monica with Bitcoin. In the end, no matter what project you're in, Kaspa most likely will outperform Bitcoin on this cycle. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin soaring higher is net positive for all projects. So you have things like that. Santa Monica has a $700 million budget. And that's, LA is, liberal haven. Now, Kaspa is not necessarily, Kaspa or Bitcoin or crypto is not necessarily a partisan issue, but it tends to be, some of the people against it more tend to be Democrats and tend to be a little bit older. You have Trump speaking at the Bitcoin conference now later this month. He's a politician who knows what he says, but on multiple occasions, he's really talking about Bitcoin and crypto. And he's speaking at the Bitcoin conference, but he's also talking a lot about just crypto in general. He's made money off Polygon NFTs and things like that. Ethereum, you go look at Arkham, he's got a bunch of Ethereum in his wallet. That is a net positive. You got someone that's a former president, maybe be the next president. talking at the Bitcoin conference. So I've used the Casper bot to see that I got about a million nacho that I was able to mint. Don't mint now, KRC 20s are on hold. But if you want to see what was possible, and maybe you've already done it, but you can go to the Casper bot. Um, just go to their Telegram, and then it's pretty simple. You just put your address in, your address right here. Just copy that baby, copy that address, and you can see it. It showed that 181 cash and like just like a million, just a little over a million nachos. So hash rate's looking beautiful, my friends. That keeps growing, fluctuating, but spending more time over 400. So that's basically the story. Is it just reaches a new threshold, new max hash rate, and then just on the daily start spending more time over 370, 380. That's just making the network more secure. Pretty much the proof of work 24-hour profit is pretty much about the same with Kaspa 1.4, Doge 1.5 million. And yeah, so just, for KRC 20s, big meeting. I'm sure that, Shy is not, really like super heavily involved, but I don't know how much communication was between some of the core devs and Casplex before. Casplex team, maybe they rushed it out. I think that overall, they learned a lot, and now they get it right this next time. And kind of in the past will be forgotten. It's tough to always please everyone. If some people are like, I was lucky enough to mint some nacho, so you just got to stay tuned for what Casplex saying. Shy is constantly posting, but I think that when Casplex will come out with a date, but I think they're going to be working close with the devs, and they're not going to be rushing it out this time, in my opinion. But maybe this week or something, they'll just kind of give us a ballpark idea. But they might not want to hammer a date down because then they might feel too pressured. But they might also give them a bunch of buffer time so they can do more testing. Kapil, thanks for tuning in. Ching Lao, thanks for tuning in. Infamous Gardens, hello from Thailand. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. So overall, good day. Things are going up, but these daily price fluctuations, when you're looking long term next year or even beyond, I know some people, like when I made that video about the Jurian Timmers, the guy from director of macro at Fidelity, who said that Bitcoin might be $1 billion in 2038. People didn't like that. And some people think that I'm trying to make that projection of Caspa hitting $730,000. No, all I did was say, what if Bitcoin was what if Caspa turned into what Bitcoin could be in Jurian Timmer's eyes? There's going to be a lot of changes. The United States has a lot of debt right now. And so I don't know how it's going to get out of that, but it's probably going to have to borrow and print more money. And you can see that that's going to be something that affects the dollar and maybe other currencies as much as, BRICS or China. That's another thing. You see a lot of people in crypto that like want the crash of the dollar, but having the reserve currency just instantly change is not good. And BRICS, if you look at that, basically the main component of BRICS is China. And they're, a lot of people don't really trust the yuan. Not a lot of people want to keep their savings in yuan. And so it's only like 2 or 3% of the reserve currency. Even some of these people doing trades with it, like Saudi Arabia, are they keeping yuan, or are they ditching that for the dollar or something else? So you can see that just in 4 short years, they're projecting that the U.S. debt was going to have almost $4 trillion just in interest, and 1.5 trillion in defense, 2 trillion in Social Security, and 2.3 trillion in Medicare, Medicaid. So the dollar is going to get devalued, but it could still potentially be the strongest currency, and China's up against it, because if they make their currency too strong, then no one wants to buy the products because the products from China are too expensive, and they'll look for another country for manufacturing. Plus, a lot of people don't want to keep their savings, and a lot of big businesses like Apple doesn't want to keep $180 billion in yuan. So that's my 2 cents. You can see we're starting to work up north there a little bit. But I do think that Who knows if the market gets rip and roaring, but then the CPI data or Fed Pal could say something, and then the Bitcoin price stalls out. Overall, it looks like Germany's almost done selling their Bitcoin. They've got just about $700 or $800 million left. But I would, I would be fine. I don't know when Casplex is going to release the KRC20 next, but if the market's still kind of down, I think that would increase the demand for Caspa, and then it'll climb up coin market cap. And with this emission schedule, we do need the demand of Caspa to increase so that the miners have the profitability and the hash rate keeps growing. And that's every proof of work is up against that. Bitcoin, I mean, at some point, if the Bitcoin network doesn't have enough users and there's not enough transaction fees, then the miners, are not going to be profitable. And, maybe more miners are looking at Caspa to make some money. You just never know the exact future, because some of these miners are feeling the crunch after the halving. They're not making as much money, so some of the weaker miners for Bitcoin are falling off. So that's all I got. It's exciting times. Just got to stay tuned to see what Casplex is going to do. Right now it's still paused, and maybe they'll give us an idea in the coming week or two of when they might release the KRC20s, but I'm pretty sure this time they're not going to rush it, so I don't know exactly when. I figured that maybe they'll give us an idea, but they're not giving us a lot of updates. They've shared this, which is basically stating that it's not going to be rushed. So we'll just have to be patient. And when it comes out, it's going to increase the demand for Caspa, in my opinion. And that's good. So thanks for watching and have a good day.